I'm Fakeo. I'm the vice president of BSU. And this is the podcast for Black History Month. Yay, episode 1. Today our topic is hot takes. So me and Nas are going to be asking some questions. And we're here with
Victory
and Lenija.
And
I'm Nas, and I'm the treasurer of BSU.
Yes, let's get to it. Yay. We're going to be asking you guys some questions that we had already written beforehand. And yeah, we just want your opinions.
First question is Black History Month enough? So do you think we should celebrate Black History Month all year, or do you think it's fine?
This is a trick question.
We need a year.
We got the shortest month.
Right.
Yes.
It's 28 days. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's like a everyday thing. We live in Black history. I mean, every day when the minute goes by is history to us. Just say 1 month is dedicated to Black people, and then once March comes, you know, the stores start taking the posters down
Yeah.
and getting ready for stuff like that. Yeah.
Bro.
Maybe, I mean, I guess it's for marketing reasons when it comes down to stores advertising Black history and celebrating Black history. That part makes sense. Black History Month should be all year round.
Yes.
We're continuing to make history.
We get the shortest month out the year. So I think that already is like telling on like how America feels about us. Yeah, it could be longer, but we make do with what we have. That's
Right.
what I feel like. So
Right. And honestly, it's like we don't even have to showcase it at this point because everything that, especially with the school, the way people dress, the way people talk, quote
yes,
unquote,
influence.
it's Black, quote unquote. The whole culture comes from us. So we don't even have to go out and say that this is ours.
Yes,
And
and we influence you guys.
yeah, like you can go and take it. Like if I see a white girl with braids, I'm like, she look a little
side
mess.
eye. Just making sure you're like, you're not just acting like it's your idea, but
Cite your
like
sources.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you know, like give credit when credit's due.
Right.
That's just how I feel about that.
Right, I agree.
The next question is, can non-Black people celebrate Black history?
Yeah.
And also, what's the difference between supporting and just showing off?
I feel like anybody can celebrate Black history, but what we did, slavery, like just everything. Everything impacts today's life, today's world, and it doesn't just affect us, it affects everybody. It's a full circle moment.
Yeah.
Like anybody of any color can, you know, appreciate us. I think the more people, the merrier.
Yes.
I think it's a specific way you got to go about it so that we feel like we're being valued and not mocked.
Yes, I get
would
that.
say, like, it definitely, some people be so performative with it. And they be buying it, too. They be like, oh, yeah, like, they really care about the culture. Like, they're really down like that. They don't. They want attention, a quick dollar, whatever they can get. Especially if they're, like, an influencer and they want to celebrate, like, Black History Month. It's a certain way that people go about it. It's one way to acknowledge the people that literally built this country from the ground up and celebrating their short month that they have at that.
Yeah.
But then there's another hand of, oh, like, it's socially acceptable if I do this, so let me do it so I don't get canceled.
Yeah.
That's how some people try to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different experience to be, like, people of color. It's one experience, but it's a very specific experience for Black people. We're not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a different...
People want to
Right.
be Black until it's time to be Black.
Yes.
Right.
And, like, since now it's just so, like, they merge the lines because everything we do, everybody else do. And they'd be like, well, we've all been doing this.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. They
Yeah.
don't want to acknowledge it. So.
The next question is, why don't we talk more about African history? So is Black history too focused on the Black Americans' history? You know, we don't really talk that much about African history. I can't really comment on this because, you know, I'm Black and both my parents are Black. We all from America. Do you have anything?
What you saying now? Because I'm African.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I don't mind it like not being focused on African people. Just so I feel like Black History Month is like paying homage. So I feel
Right.
like we should just keep that. We should give them that space to just have that month. Like, it's just okay for them to get that month to themselves.
I got something to add. Actually, I know this is hot takes. Personally, since I've grown up, I don't consider myself African American.
Really?
And the only reason is because, like I said, both of my parents and their parents and their parents, they're from America. So I don't have a direct link. Like, you know, I don't have a direct link to Africa as you would do. Like,
Yeah.
both of your parents are from Africa, right?
Yes.
I don't. So I consider myself a Black American.
Okay.
What do y'all think?
I ain't never heard that shit before. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I feel like when both your parents are from Africa, I would identify you also to be like like African, identify as African. I was raised by an African guy. It's like it's different levels to this. Like I feel like they don't even care that much. Not that they don't care that much, but like African American month, like Black History Month, they celebrated it regularly the same way we do. Like I don't think that they take it like they're like more deeply hurt than we. I think it's like unity with it. I hope I'm explaining that right.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Completely different experiences. I live in Bowie. There is a huge African like it's,
yes.
I got a lot of African friends, and I can just even say like even like the family dynamic is very different. Yeah, we're the same people, of course, but I don't think that for Black History Month we would be like highlighting them because it's not even the same experience.
Yeah.
Wait, do I sound crazy? Does my explanation at least kind of make sense?
I feel like I get what you're saying. Like I understand because you just feel like you don't feel connected to that. But technically speaking,
no, that's
you know
what
I mean? Yeah.
Like if I were to go into my DNA and I would trace back 1 trillion years, we all would be a little teeny bit of African or something.
I get what you mean.
Yeah, but as far as me being Black and as far as me being from America, I'm Black and I'm not from any country in Africa.
Yeah. So when you fill out like those surveys or like any like applications,
I put African American.
Okay, I would say
like it's not anything like, oh my God, I'm Black. No. Like it's not that, but it's like if someone were to come up to ask me, am I African American or am I a Black American, I would just say I'm a Black American because I feel like there's a little difference between the two.
Really like found out like what you were like your ancestry. You think your answer would change?
Yes.
That's what I was about to add on.
Okay.
Because like look at me, like I'm a little light.
A little.
But I'm a little light, but like I guess because I grew up in like West Baltimore, like everybody was Black. Like everybody was just like I never had a white kid in my class ever. So when I came to this college, like guys, it was a culture shock for real. You asked me what I was, I just say like I'm Baltimorean, I'm Black, blah 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 blah. And people were like, oh, but you're so light, blah, blah. Like somebody in your family gotta be blah 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 blah. And I took an ancestry test. They was right. You know, there's a little white in there, but I'm Haitian and Dominican mostly, and you can't even tell. You know.
No.
Okay. A lot of Black people don't even know specifically what they are. Like I didn't know I had no flags to hold up. I would just hold up the American flag. But
Fourth question: is colorism a problem in the Black community? How does skin tone affect how people are treated, even among us?
Even when you're dealing with dudes, like dudes will say like, prime example. I could quote this. Like he said, I would rather date an average looking light skin than a beautiful dark skin.
Oh,
yes.
That's not even shocking.
That's literally a quote though. Like the fact that people
shocking.
are that ignorant to say stuff like that, it's normalized and it shouldn't be, especially on TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it just takes me back to middle school. Or like on Vine, where they'd be like light skin versus dark skin.
Yes.
I'm getting like shell shocked. Like I just can't. Especially because even you can see it in celebrity culture now. These celebrities be skin bleaching their skin and they will never tell you, but it's so obvious.
Yeah.
So obvious.
I don't want to name any celebrity names. I don't want the stands.
Well, name them.
Okay, it's Beyonce. Okay, like she looks genuinely like
her skin tone has changed.
It's changed. It's not just the hair.
I would say with Beyonce, she's always been light, but we all have social media and you can add it how you look. So I would say as far as, they have that one Beyonce picture when she has like silver hair.
In general, if you look at her back in her Destiny Child days, she was a little not chocolate.
She
was very golden.
Yeah,
bronzy.
she was very bronze.
Now she's real
light.
Yeah.
She's pale.
on my hand.
Yeah, I can see that. If you were to look at pictures of like, for example, Little Kim or Foxy Brown or any Black female celebrity back then, they didn't have that much access to good makeup products to actually bring out their features, which kind of contradicts to what you're saying as far as how she looked chocolate with Destiny Child. That one picture of Beyonce where she does look lighter than light can
She
be,
looks white.
Yeah.
That's obviously edited.
Yeah.
Like,
you think so?
Yeah.
But like, why would you let that be pushed out to the public?
I don't
You're
know.
so about embracing your Blackness.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say I like Beyonce. I like Beyonce songs and stuff. Not even just her though. Like Black China, she literally endorsed a skin bleaching cream.
Yes. So did Lil Kim. She literally went from like dark skin to like light bright.
Goes back to the question. Colorism is a problem because you have these Black women who look as beautiful can be, and they're told they're not beautiful. Little Kim was dating Biggie Smalls,
Yeah.
and he was big as big.
And he cheated on her
and
with Faith
cheated
Evans.
on her with Faith Evans, who was a light-skinned woman.
Mm-hmm.
He also dated a whole bunch of European women.
Mm-hmm.
When she went on, he passed away. I'm sure she dated a whole bunch of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they dated a whole bunch of light-skinned or European, Asian girls.
Yeah.
And she, in her mind, psychologically, she just thought she wasn't ever enough. So she went and got surgery, bleached her skin and stuff like that. And unfortunately, she looks the way that she looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like...
That is. That's so
Unfortunately, and I love that. Like, she's my favorite female rapper, but I have to sit here and be honest. Little Kim looks like a totally different person. If they were to post pictures of Little Kim on a shade room, and you go in the comments, they are tearing her down to shreds. And this is the same reason why she did the things that she did.
Yeah.
Little Kim will forever be Little Kim,
Yeah.
but she looks totally different because of other people's opinions affecting how she feels about herself.
Yeah.
That's your just insecurities. You need to learn how to fight that and stuff like that. But also at the same time, it's like, we can't go on about and say black is beauty, blah, 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 and then tear down people like Beyonce, who, you know, appears lighter than what she actually is. Which, like I said before, I feel like, honestly, it was probably because she had a flash on whatever camera she used and stuff like that. And they still hide her brightness.
I
But
think
if
she
we-
look like that often nowadays.
But true, Super Bowl performance that she just did,
Oh, yeah.
she looks like how she normally would look.
She looks
Yes.
a little
Right.
lighter, but yeah, okay.
Like, she
So-
looks that way often. Like, I could see, like, if you're going to edit a picture and you're so, like, you know, Black Lives Matter, like if she's trying to push like this, I'm helping the black community, I don't think she would let that much stuff get edited that way. She has a say in, to say how dark she wants it. People can edit pictures to look darker too.
I think the main thing is like beauty standards, like Eurocentric beauty standards.
No, yeah.
That's why it's so different.
I feel
now.
like, yeah, I agree. I think we're also preconditioned from like movies we watched growing up. Like,
Eurocentric features are very glamorized. Like everything that's like black is like not what people want to see.
but I feel like the trends are changing. I don't know. I feel like people are coming to their senses in some way. Like, I feel like my TikTok feed is definitely filled with like more black women.
Yes, for sure.
And
But
the comments
you also pick your like
for you.
your For You page,
Yeah.
so it's like maybe that's what yours is. Colorism is a very huge thing in the black community. Like and I feel like it's just so sad because it's like we treat each other like not good, so we expect other people to treat us good, but look at how we treat each other. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's really a sad thing because it's like, why am I not beautiful because I'm dark skinned, or why am I not beautiful because my hair is not 3C?
I feel like this is all like after effect from like the Jim Crow laws. Like, if we going back to it, he
It's
split
also-
us up, and we letting that shit still happen
We
like
are.
60 years later. So
Okay, so the next question is about religion.
Oh Lord.
So
It's
it,
getting hot
it
in here.
says religion, a blessing or a curse for black people. So has faith helped or hurt the black community? I would say both.
I definitely agree with you
Yeah.
because there's, you know, people find their faith in different ways. Like growing up in a black church, you can either give two very different experiences. It
For
can be
sure.
really like pushed on you horrible, they judgy, gossipy, be judging this thing, and then want to jump to the next thing. Oh, you can't do that, but they do the same thing, or even worse. You know, some black people say, well, Christianity is this because it was pushed onto us in slavery times, which is true. They, you know, misconstrued it and put it in that way for people to digest, so they would stay subservient. But then people go back to African spirituality. But then if you even look like deeper, like Ethiopian Orthodox, you know, Christianity is before it was even colonized or touched at all. So I feel like it's definitely been used for good and bad ways. It's up to, you know, the individual themselves to
Right.
go on their faith, on their own journey without pressures or influence from other
Right.
people.
Facts.
And with that being said, did you guys see the video? It just came out like at least 2 weeks ago.
The
Of
girl?
the little girl, she had got pregnant.
Oh my God.
It's basically the little girl got pregnant without wedlock, so she wasn't married to any man
she
in
was
the
like
church.
16.
She was at least 16. Basically, the pastor ostracized her. Is that how you say
Yes,
it?
I think that's what.
And
Yeah.
made her get in front of the congregation
Beg
and
for
Congress.
beg for their forgiveness and blah blah blah. I'm so sorry that this happened. She got off the stage. He came to the mic and said, "You will not have a baby shower.
Like-
Your mom can't have you have a baby shower. Whatever. If anybody from the church has a baby shower before you or give you any gifts, you know, they'll be silenced, and it'll just be that."
Yeah, it's really like, I feel like the church, you have to find your faith. I didn't really go to a lot of African American church. I went to a lot of African churches. And I'm not going to lie, not the best. Like, it's like we glorify the pastor like he's God. Like, why can't he feel so comfortable to sit there and bash this girl, but you don't know what he does behind the doors.
And he probably was the one who, who got her pregnant.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I would not be
and,
shocked.
Right, and when you look at the video, you can see this. I mean, this is how a lot of black churches were before, I'm sure, the 21st century. I'm just looking at the video. I'm like, yeah, they a little, I don't want to say off, but they are just
Brainwashed.
Yeah.
brainwashed.
Yes.
That's the word, brainwashed. And as he's saying, you can't have no baby shower, blah, 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 blah. They said, all right, pastor, you speak, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
like,
And I'm like, come on now.
She's
So worried
literally
about
young.
appearances,
A young
it
girl.
kills me. They're so worried about appearances,
Yes.
Yes.
instead of actually like being in one with God. Like, you're so worried about, oh, is the pastor gonna think this? What will the church think? What will this think? Worry about yourself.
Right.
Like, people get so lost in what other people think. That could go for literally anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, I agree. Like, I feel like pastors give themselves way too much. Like they're saying matters that much. You are just here to help us understand the Bible.
Exactly.
Your opinion, like, you not telling me if I'm going to heaven or hell.
Exactly.
There's nothing you can say to really make me say, oh, I'm a bad human. You don't know.
You're not God.
Yeah, so a little girl getting pregnant, like, stuff happens. Instead of being a church and supporting her, you guys are bashing her and we're just going to
Right.
make her run from the church. Her
Right.
kids, like,
Depressed. Like,
Yes.
you know how much she's about to go through just because of that video?
Right.
And the fact that it went viral, like,
on top of being pregnant as a teen, like, you have enough stuff to worry
Exactly.
about.
Worry about. Yeah. And to be honest, she looked like she was 20 years old. So imagine if that wasn't the case and the church supported her and she actually had a baby shower.
Yeah.
Baby showers are
Help.
literally meant for people to come together and
Help.
celebrate, you and your child coming into the world and helping you. They give
Yes.
you gifts,
Yeah.
Pampers, blah, 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 blah,
literally
blah, blah.
support.
And
like,
now she can't have all of that because you want to use the Bible to enforce what you think based on, because I know your mom didn't have you out, had you out of wedlock. So now you're brainwashing, like she said, all these people.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I personally, I church shopped a lot before I found my church that I like.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a lot of black churches. I've been in different denominations of black churches. One black church was kind of like that. They were dressed like that. I walked into my regular church. I thought I was cool. Walked in, wasn't covered enough. Everybody was staring at me. I felt uncomfortable. Then I went to a all-white church, and he was like, the Muslims this, the Muslims that, the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, I can't be here.
Yeah.
Right.
And I found one that was right in the middle. It's so diverse that there's literally translators in the back of the church for the other people. Like, there's like people
that's
that
so
don't even
cool.
speak English.
That's so
and
cool.
they all here for the same purpose. And the pastor, his main point is supporting you no matter what you're going through. Like, he gives, like, there's like monthly gift giving. Like, there's just so many events this church gives to support people and show love no matter what you got going on. People, like, some people, they're gay and they're scared to go to churches because of that.
Yeah. There's definitely like good churches out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to my church though, Capital City in DC. Okay, like they're really a good church. Like my friend, he took me there, and that was my first. It was just so like you could just feel the love. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I'm not used to churches like that. Like African churches are very like, the devil, you can't do this, you'll go to hell. You can't do this, you'll go to hell. It's not like about support or like trying to help you. It's just really about
Fear.
don't do this, like like fear mongering. Like it's a lot of churches
Yeah.
that do that. I hate churches like that because it's like it makes you not even want to like get close to God because it's like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I can't even feel comfortable being a human because like I can't be perfect. I'm not perfect,
Right.
you know.
And you're not
So-
perfect on the pulpit either. You're you're
judging,
tearing
you're
down,
gossiping.
you're judging, you're gossiping, you're breaking down families. But then you go and ask them to get a tithe and offering
Like,
for $100.
Oh, yeah.
That
They be like, we're trying to build a new church.
like they saying that.
Yeah.
It's,
And-
where's the church?
right. Not only are you psychologically breaking down people and their families, you're also financially robbing these people.
Yeah.
And then they're going to use God's name, like,
Right.
God wants you to do this.
Like,
And we're human. So you want to feel comfortable while you're worshiping God. So of course you want to give money. And I like when churches give back to like schools and stuff like that. Like my church,
Yes.
they give out scholarships and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah.
I like when churches get back too.
Yeah.
I just say find what church works for you. And if one of these churches work for you, then yeah. The question is, can America ever make up for slavery? What would real justice or reparation even look like?
No.
Fuck
No, you can't.
No.
It's so much to get into,
Yeah.
but you can't make up for it. Reparations, I guess, money-wise, you can't even make up with that
Yeah.
either.
There's no amount of money that could like
No.
generate generational wealth. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
Slavery literally is still seen in the wealth of white families to
Yep.
this day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially if you go to the South, people still have plantations. They don't got slaves working on it, but they still benefit.
Absolutely.
They're still manufacturing off
Yeah.
of it and shit like that. So there's not. They can apologize as much, make as much statues and museums as they please,
Mhm.
but it's like the damage has been done.
Yeah.
Majority of Black people were not as rich as white people.
Yeah.
And it's for a reason. Redlining and generational wealth and just layers upon layers of why they want us to not have as much money as they do.
Yeah.
They want to
Right.
create that imbalance. So there's really nothing they could do.
Right. They can't make up for the physical, mental, psychological, all the tools, whatever,
Yup.
of how they treated us through. Like, I
Like-
see stuff every day on what had happened
Yeah.
back in those days.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't make up for it. They just made slavery in a new way.
Yes. It was so bad that it's just still running till this day.
Yeah.
But then you have to think, it was not that long ago. Like,
No.
it really
Yeah.
was not as long ago as they like to make it seem.
Yeah, 60
No.
years ago, we wouldn't be here. Real
Like,
shit. Like,
it was
Yeah.
really not that long ago. I do feel like reparations should be a thing. I feel like the fact that, like, Jewish people got reparations, but, like, Black
What-
people didn't?
Wait,
But
what
were
were
they
their
represent-
Yeah,
Reparated for?
yeah.
Like, the Holocaust?
no, but like, what,
No,
like,
but
what did
what
they
was-
get? To, like-
Money.
I think that was America giving them
I don't think so.
reparations.
I'm just saying, like, the fact that they went through what they went through and they got reparations.
Yeah.
But then Black people went through
But
what they went through.
I honestly feel like as far as Jewish people, they have their own land, and America has their ties with everything. I mean, duh.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Pretty sure America helped with that, too, though, actually.
no, with what?
Like, reparations for the Jewish people.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
They did. Like at the same time, some stuff falls on us. That's what this whole podcast is about. About some stuff falling back on us. And I would say, if I'm speaking from a space of a political person, I guess like that, whatever, when you're telling people go to the polls and vote all blue, that's slavery. I'm not going to the polls and voting blue based on what you say. When you're not going and looking up these people you're putting your faith and trust in, like when you're going based on voting based on if a person's Black or not, that's not getting you anywhere. Because when you think about it, what's his name? John F. Kennedy's, when he died and his vice president came in office, he created welfare. And welfare ripped the Black community, ripped us apart. Guess what they did? They went to each door, knocked on the door. If they seen that you had a father in your house, they would say, okay, cool, but if you want this welfare based on how bad you're struggling compared to everybody else, you're going to have this man get out the house so we can give you a check. But when you think about it, okay, my father out the house, he don't got no job. He just lost his job if he had one. He's going to sell drugs and stuff like that. They implemented drugs in our communities. 70s and 80s insert crack, but the early 90s, they cracked down on crack.
Yeah.
They mass incarcerate these men and put them in jails. That's what the Mass Incarceration Act of 1993, guess whose bill they used to say that was? Not Bill Clinton's bill, Joe Biden's bill. Joe Biden's bill was the most publicized one, but there were bills, I think 2 or 3 bills before his that happened that were far more worse. But Joe Biden's name was attached to this bill. He called us all types of names and stuff like that. And this is the same man we didn't got in office. Now we know why we got in office, because when you compare him to Donald Trump,
Yeah.
that's why he's in office.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you're telling people go and vote blue and you're not informing your children, informing your brother and sister, your mother, blah, 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 this is blah, 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 and this is what he got, and this is Joe Biden's bill or whatever, and they're just going in and just voting, not knowing the history of these people that they're voting into office based on them being Black, that's slavery in itself.
Yeah.
But nobody care. Like
Care
I get
about
what you
what?
no, like nobody care about like what bill is what. People go to the polls just because like they see what's trending. Like nobody did their research on what
Yes.
Kamala was bringing, what Donald Trump was bringing. They just saw the 2 names and said, forget it. So if they
No,
see
yeah.
someone up there saying vote for them, like just 2 little bullet points. Kamala's good, Trump's bad.
Mhm,
Someone is
yeah.
just going to go.
Now,
Just go vote.
do you think that's an excuse, or are you just saying that's why?
I'm saying that's why, like, just
No,
voted
yeah.
just
No,
because.
yeah. I agree.
But I also think some people they just didn't go to the polls.
Yeah.
They
just
just didn't go
because-
to the polls.
They
Yeah,
felt
Yeah.
like both options were like.
But there's
not
other
good.
questions on the ballot. If you want to skip that question, but like abortion, the head of education, all that other shit is on the ballot. You can't complain about shit you're not helping.
Yeah, there's no really winning. Like, it's not like, oh my God, this person's this perfect candidate that has everything down pat.
Mhm.
It's really based on how you stand and where your family stands. So it's really important to vote because it's like you said, there's other questions there
Mhm.
that like actually have to do with like futuristic stuff.
I think like the most important thing I would guess say for young black people is to educate yourself. That's the
Right.
only thing
Yeah.
that will probably have you equal to a white person or whoever
Mhm.
at a higher level.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
not going to be money. The politicians don't care about you.
They
This country can't
don't.
do nothing for you except you have to do the hard work.
Yes.
Right.
That's why.
And once you educate yourself, you'll like, because everything is about money, obviously. You'll get to these spaces where you're able to rub shoulders with such and such and such because knowledge is power. And you just gotta be smart. And being smart is educating yourself.
Yep.
That's
Based
why
on-
they didn't let us read or write before.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Educate ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, that's factual.
We want to end on a positive note. So, what
To
does it
follow
mean to
this.
be black to you guys?
I think being black is just being ourselves. Like, I don't know. I feel like that sounds so cliche.
I know.
Like, being black, it's no recipe to it.
Yeah, there's
you
no
really
box.
just gotta like vibe. Like, as a black person, one thing is you just gotta be yourself. Like, we are very good at being ourselves and just showcasing how we feel about ourselves through fashion, music, through anything. Like, we're just like beautiful people. I love
Yeah.
being black. I'm not African American, but I am.
No.
Skin is very
Yes.
much black.
Yes.
So like I just love being black. Like, oh, we are influencing the world constantly, and I just feel like why would you not want to be black? Like,
I said this last semester, and my friends ripped me to shreds. And I think I said it on the last podcast, but I'm gonna continue to say it. I feel like black women are God's greatest creation.
exactly.
It's only women that can bring humans into the world. And the first woman on this earth was a black woman. Black women, you guys are his greatest creation.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And that, that's that. So.
Exactly. I just
This
love you.
question reminds me of when we were in the car the other
And
day.
you said
and we
what? You asked that question?
And we were having that who's blackest contest.
Who's what?
Who's
Blackest
blackest contest?
contest.
Like
personality wise, I won.
No,
and,
I think
and,
you
and,
are.
And that's my greatest award. That's my greatest compliment. That's my
Yes.
greatest award. That's my greatest accomplishment.
I brought
She-
it up
uh-huh.
because I just think it highlighted the fact that we deem all these experiences ranging from Temple to you, that wide range.
Yeah.
It's like it's so many different black experiences, and people deem these things, this is blackest, that's blackest, but in general, it's still one experience.
Yeah.
Because we're all black people. So that's why I brought it up.
That's
Or I
why
don't
being
think
black is so interesting. There's so many
yeah,
different
there's so
people.
that's why we
Yeah.
this is like the point of our
Yeah.
our conversation. I just
Yeah.
think that it's such a versatile experience. We can't even deem it to
Yeah.
Yeah.
this is that and
Specific.
that.
Yeah. This was great, guys. Yeah, this was a
Black people on
great.
time for once. Yay.
So this was a really good conversation. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll see you guys later. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.